Imagine you're at home working on something, and all of a sudden you hit a roadblock. You're trying to get into an opening with your tool, but it's too small. You need a smaller tool maybe, but you don't have one on you, and the hardware store's not open. Or you've got a drill that's too oversized and overpowered for what you're trying to do, maybe trying to drill a small, precise drill hole on a very fragile object. Well, good news is that's where the Dremel 300 series rotary tool comes into play. Today I'm going to talk to you about what a rotary tool is, the purpose capabilities of this Dremel 300, and the products that you can do with it. And to begin, you'll ask what a rotary tool is. Rotary tool is a core tool with attachments and accessories, and it has numerous things you can do with it. The Dremel 300 has 6 different categories, and there are 6 different categories of attachments and over 15 accessories that are listed in Dremel's Quick Start book right here. It's the guide that comes with your tool when you buy it, and that's on pages 16 to 29 that I got that from. Dremel 300 tools also have an 11-piece anatomy, and that's outlined in your Quick Start book also under page 8 through 10. The upper section, that you can see here, is what holds your attachments in place, and it has an accessory shank, which is your accessory piece, a collet nut, and the wrench is part of the upper accessory too. How that works is your collet nut slides down in or your collet, slides down there, collet nut goes over, like such, and your accessory slides down in the 1/8 collet. Like such. The lower portion is your housing, which involves your housing cap, the shaft lock, this blue button, the wrench, so correction, the wrench is part of the lower housing, slides right in the bottom. You have a shaft lock, the brushing cap, your air vents, and a bail. A bail is a wire hook used to hang the tool. Now that you know a little bit about the rotary tools and how they're made and what this particular one is, the anatomy of it and the attachments, we'll move on to the purpose and capabilities. With these attachments, you can work in 6 categories. These categories involve engraving, cleaning, polishing, collets and drills. You have cutting, grinding, sharpening, and carving. Those are just some of the categories. You have 6 categories, of course. Your accessories are going to include a lot of things. You have a right angle cutting guide, flex shaft, router, grout removal tool, workstation, shaper router table, a chainsaw sharpener, lawnmower blade sharpener, a multi-vise, a circle cutter, and a mini saw. So this particular model is a high-speed model. So back to the point, it's a high-speed model because it can run from 5K to 35K RPM using a setting of 10. I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but it has 10 notches, and you just go up and down with your selector switch. So in most applications, if you use your lower RPMs, that's going to be for fine detail and softer materials, and your higher RPMs are going to be for more intense work like hard surfaces where you're sanding, grinding, cutting, stuff like that. Of course, Dremel also has recommended settings for certain projects on his website, www.dremel.com. And now that you're familiar with the purpose and capabilities of this particular tool, there are many projects that you'll see that you can do with the Dremel 300. But for the meantime, we're only going to discuss 2 for time's sake. Most people don't realize it, but they can sharpen the lawnmower blades using a lawnmower sharpening attachment, and it's actually supposed to be safer and faster. The important thing for people to realize is that you have to maintain the original blade bevel and angle, because if you don't, you'll damage the blade. My personal favorite, however, is that you can etch glass with it. I meant to have a piece of glass to show you guys, but I misplaced it. Um, Basically, what it is you can use some masking tape and go inside the glass and tape a design to the inside, or you can draw on the outside of the glass a permanent marker. But an important thing to note is you're going to want to make sure that you practice on a scrap piece of glass before actually working on the final product. And that being said, now that you know all this info, we can move on to the closing comments. And what it is I presented today a lot of info about the Dremel 300 Rotary Series tool, and that's basically what it was, what a rotary tool is, its purpose, its capabilities, and some projects that you can do with it. By now, after having heard my speech, you should know enough to make an informed decision about whether or not you want to have this tool in your house. And this tool will not fix or craft everything, obviously, but it will fix or craft many things. And basically all one has to do is just imagine the possibilities, and this tool will pretty much make the possibilities a reality. Thank you.